Hello, everyone. This is Edward Longstreet, and this is the Retro Arcade, a Edward Longstreet Films limited release, doing business as Edward Longstreet's Belmont Pictures Corporation. And this is the second episode of the Retro Arcade. So let's begin. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the video game systems that I owned, the real old ones like the Atari and its generic, the Sears Video Arcade and Arcade 2, made by Sears Robux, which I will make a video some point in time detailing on that and the Atari. So, moving on from that, I actually came across these old video game systems roughly 10 years ago. I went to a local garage sale or flea market. It was actually a flea market I went to, and I seen these old Atari and its generic, the Sears Video Arcade and the Video Arcade 2, and the guy was asking $20 each for them, and I ended up paying 60 for all three of them, and I brought all these home. Luckily, they had some games with them, and one of them worked. Luckily, the other two I had trouble with, and so forth. And these were one of the early ones, especially the Sears Video Arcade and the Atari 2600. These were actually the six switchers, which they made from 1977 to around 1980, 1981. That's when they actually reduced it to a four switcher. And what do I mean by that? I mean they added a thing where you can adjust the difficulty on the system on the games. Somehow they decided they wanted to do away with that in the early 80s. That beats me. But anyhow, I had these and I had them for about a year, but I started having the two video game systems I had, the Atari 2600 and the Sears Video Arcade 2, did not want to act right. The only one that actually worked very decent was the Sears Video Arcade 1, which was more or less the copy of the Atari 2600. But after about a year, it started to act up, and so I had a decision, and it was a decision I fucking regret. I'm sorry for my language. I deeply regret it. I actually ended up parting them out and sold the parts off of it and ended up junking them. I deeply actually regretted it. Now thinking on that and trying to get comfortable here, and I deeply regret it. I actually wish I never done that. That was the most stupidest decision in my life because upon finding out now, because I've been on YouTube, I actually been surfing YouTube for 4 years now, and I had a YouTube channel for the last three. And upon watching all the YouTube videos of restorations and stuff, I now have the knowledge to actually fix some of that, including old video game systems like Atari. See, at the time, I didn't have that, and I now wish I actually learned that a lot sooner because thinking upon that now, I deeply regret it because I actually have a love for Atari. I would love to own another Atari, which I'm actually at some point in time, since I'm getting my stuff together and making some money, might actually get my hands on an Atari and start working on collecting some of them old video game systems. But thinking about it, just I kind of upsets me. It upsets myself because of what I did. I shouldn't have never did that. And there's some of you out there that collect old video game systems and are old retro video game enthusiasts. They're thinking, this guy's a dumbass. And yes, I am a dumbass. Because, yeah, I had the original OG. It wasn't exactly called the Atari 2600. It was actually called the Atari computer video system or video computer system. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it wasn't exactly called 2600. Atari didn't actually branded the term 2600 until the actual early 80s, around 82, 83. Uh, but it was mostly just called the Atari because, you know. But long story short, yeah, I had the early one, the 6 switchers that had 6 free switches on each side of the cartridge where you put the cartridge in at, and shit like that. And yeah, and I also had the Sears Video Arcade 1 and 2, which the 2 was more or less a generic of. Excuse me, Caroline, I'm doing a video right now. Move your boo boo out of the way. Anyhow, which was the generic version of the Atari 2800, which I will make a video about sometime in the future as well. But I thought I'd make a video about this. I felt this be worth talking about in my second episode of the Retro Arcade. So I thank you for watching. I also want to give an update on the Patreon situation. I'm still working on it. I actually found out I'm gonna have to get a either a prepaid card that you put money on, because once you join them, yeah, people, if they actually like you, they will subscribe to you and actually will give money, you know, support your channel and stuff big time. So I'm gonna have to get a prepaid card or a something. I'm gonna have to work out the monetary thing, because I'm gonna have to do that, take care of that. But I am still considering doing Patreon as well as, you know, continuing with the YouTube. I also want to give an update on the YouTube channel. I might start posting some cartoon videos. I am worked on a couple of Shiba Blue cartoons, but they'll probably be one of the very last blue cartoons I may do, because I'm really getting tired of drawing them cartoons. I'm getting burned out after 3 years of doing this. I'm tired, so I want to make more of these videos as well as pursuing my passion. So I might have some new cartoons as well as some remakes with some music. So I thought I'd give an update on that. So I really hope you enjoyed this second episode of the Retro Arcade, and I thank you for watching. Like, subscribe to my channel, and I will give another update on the Patreon situation. But I thank you for watching again. Like, subscribe to my channel. This is Edward Longstreet in the Retro Arcade, the second episode, and I thank you for watching. God bless.